going because you like that, and I will produce you a photograph. There they are, they're all going. Yes, I know, I've got a treat for you. I've got a treat for you. So
would that have been an original garden wall,
That
Jonathan?
would have been an original garden wall. The wall that's covered in thing, that was one of the original boundaries.
This one here.
Because what there was that these 5 houses were squatted, and 146 and 148 and 152 were also part of the squat. And Andreas, whose wonderful garden you have seen across on Railton Road, he used to live and had squatted 148. But 150 was a derelict house, and when this scheme was created, it didn't exist. I and my partner, I arrived with my partner Nigel Young in 1984. These houses, they'd worked out a scheme for these houses in which nobody wanted to live communally any longer. Everybody wanted single person units. They wanted no fights about whose milk was in the fridge and whose electricity was being used. Nigel and I arrived, and there was this house that was derelict and full of dry rot. So we went to the Housing Corporation and we asked if we could find out who owned the house and we could purchase it, would they allow it to be brought into the scheme? And amazingly, the Housing Corporation for once said yes. So each of these houses had been bought from Lambeth Council. The original squatters went to the council and they said, we would like to buy our squats, and the council looked at them and said, we don't sell to squatters. We only sell to resident housing associations or housing cooperatives. Go away. So they went away, they had a meeting, and they decided that they would go to the Housing Corporation and they would register a housing cooperative. They went back to the council and said, we would like to buy our properties. We've told you we do not sell to, we are not squatters, we are a housing cooperative, Brixton Housing Cooperative. So each of these houses was sold for £3,000. So there were 5 houses there, 3 houses there, each for £3,000. This house cost £12,000. So when the refurbishment happened, they had to find savings of £9,000. So Nigel and I couldn't have central heating, which was fine, we had gas fires. Anyway, I will show you a photograph, I'll bring you a photograph of what the garden looked like. Nigel and I planted, let me walk you around. Nigel and I planted in 1986 this twisted hazel, and I will bring you a photograph of what the garden looked like then. I mean, it's had many changes, but one of the first trees that was planted, we planted 2 silver birch, and I planted, which is behind you, a magnolia. Anyway, walk around, have a look at the garden. I will put the kettle on. Would people like tea?
No.
Lovely. Then I shall make a big pot of tea and just enjoy the space.